are here tonight. We thank you so much. And before we get going, we're just going to give you a little bit of the magic and the musicianship of Mr. Duncan Wilson. Enjoy. Duncan was a unique, multi-talented, complex musician, friend, and this, I understand, is the first time that Mr. Barish has had this kind of a, a ceremony in his place, and we're so grateful that he allowed us to do this tonight. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't ask for a round of applause for Earl Barish for this multiple musicians display, which is absolutely awesome. And we thank you so much, and of course his lovely wife Cheryl. Cheryl, thank you so much. Thanks for calling tonight. And you know, you always, when you lose somebody, whether it's a family, family member or a friend like Duncan, you always tend to look for signs, and you embrace those signs. And some of the signs that Duncan has given us is, we weren't really done when we all gathered at his celebration of life, and that was almost a year ago, as we speak. And some of the people have come back, which we thank you for. And when we, started putting this thing together, there was a lot of people involved. And what are the chances? Here's the first nice little sign. I talked to Earl and I said, we'd like to do this with Duncan's guitar. That was his final wish, that his guitar be inducted in this wonderful Manitoba musicians display. And Earl said, yeah, great. And Duncan's eyes lit up. He said, I really want this to happen. I'd love to have my guitar in there. And it's great to have a place, as Duncan would attest, a place of honor for him. And so Earl said, yeah, okay, we'll get everything together, get the ball rolling, and I'll put you in charge of my Director of Communications for the Salisbury House. I said, fine, what's his name? He said, Duncan.
Right.
I said, okay. That's kind of ironic. Yes. So we talked to Duncan, we got that rolling, and then we thought, well, we need some frames and everything done, so we phoned Pictures, Frames, and More. We told him what we needed, and the guy said, sure, we can do that. I swear hand to God, I said, who am I talking to? He said, Duncan.
That's right.
Duncan.
I was there the other day. And
Duncan and Duncan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you look at little signs, and you know, I think that Duncan's grateful looking down on all of us tonight, and grateful that we've gathered in his honor. And this is a final tribute, fulfilling a final wish to just a wonderful, wonderful musician and friend. Duncan used to come over in his final days. He stopped by the house, and you know, he would tell me about, he's playing bluegrass now, which was really, you know, he's playing bluegrass, and he's with this great acoustical group, and they gather every Monday night, which is another, I think, sign. How ironic, we gather on a Monday night. And he used to jam with these guys. They played some places, and Duncan blew us away with his love of bluegrass, his vocal stylings and musicianship in his style of music. And in a tribute tonight, I asked Terry if he would be comfortable, because if it wasn't for Terry Barnett, we would not have had the perfect ending to Duncan's celebration of life 1 year ago. And what we had was Duncan singing his own tribute called Remember Me. And I don't know if you remember that at the service, those of you who were there. It was an absolutely heartfelt, heart-tugging tribute that Duncan sang. It was just recorded off a phone, was it not? An iPhone? Yeah. So Terry has graciously consented to come here in a tribute. The group Cold Hard Facts of Life sends their love to the family, to friends. And Terry, will you grace us with a little bit of Remember Me that Duncan sang from last year's celebration of life? Terry Barnett.
The sweetest song I ever heard, the songs of lovers. The sweetest days are the days that used to be. The saddest words are words of parting. When you said, sweetheart, remember me. Remember me when the candle lights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It would be so sweet if all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. You told me once we'd be along together. You'd be mine till the end of eternity. But those vows are broken now, and we will never be the same, except in memories. Remember me when the candle lights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It would be so sweet if all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. Just to know you still remember me.
Come on, really give him your love, Terry Barnett. Terry Barnett, one more time. Wow. He was hesitant, said, I don't know if I could do that justice. Terry, unbelievable. Thank you so, so much. And Duncan, thanks you. You know, my first experience meeting Duncan, I think Garth put it the best, is Duncan, he's somebody you really have to experience. And I think that's words well chosen. And I know he has a few more words as his bandmate in the Mongrels, so please welcome our bandmate from the Mongrels, and of course Duncan's friend, Mr. Garth Nosworthy. Garth?
Well, I want to thank all of you people for coming out tonight. I know Duncan would truly be honored to see all of you here as we fulfill one of his last requests, to have his guitar placed here in the showcase here at the Salisbury House. I've known Duncan for the better part of my life. And I want you to know that when I say better, I mean better. But when Joey said it, and I said it, for those of you who knew Duncan like I knew Duncan, you didn't know Duncan, you experienced Duncan. And I'm just happy to be here tonight to experience this event. It is a great privilege for me. For those of you who don't know, this showcase here is in the perfect location because Duncan grew up just a stone's throw from here on Hector Bay. He lived there with his mother and his father and his brother Danny and a horde of guys that would collect in the basement once a week and make a lot of noise. Those guys were the Mongrels. And we were kept cooped up there until one day when, as Duncan said, we got a gift. We got something called Randy's Rejects. Randy's Rejects were all of the songs that the Guess Who didn't want, and Randy brought them to us. And because of that, we, the Mongrels, were able to emerge from the darkness of the basement of Duncan's house and join what has become one of the greatest decades here in Winnipeg and maybe in music history, the 1960s. And it was wonderful for us to get that experience. And this location also here is very good for Duncan and myself because when I met Duncan, we were both going to Grant Park High School just over there. And although we were there a lot, we found that on other occasions we might be here at the Salisbury House, overindulging in some cheeseburgers, french fries, and milkshakes, and dreaming of the days when Joey and I and Duncan would be out there living the life, the dream of being a rock and roll star. And it was great. But, you know, Duncan, as he's inducted tonight here into this, he will say to you that all of the people that are here didn't make this journey on their own. That in fact, this hotbed of music in this end of the city consisted of a lot of other people. Well, down the road, as you know, Neil Young was growing up on Grosvenor. But what you might not know is that his bandmates, Alan Bates and Ken Smythe, went to Grant Park High School. John Nikon, who's sitting back there somewhere, who was part of the Mongrels. John, wave your hand. Say hi to everyone. John went to Grant Park High School. Lorne Safer, who was our manager and is Burton's manager, and has some interest in here, I'm not exactly sure. He went to Grant Park High School, as did, well, there was a couple of other people that would have gone there. There would have been your Derek Blake from the Debrons, went to Grant Park High School, and someone else you might know, Ralph James, who was with Harlequin. He went to Grant Park High School. And while all of that was going on, Joey and the members of the Mongrels were growing up just north of here in Crescentwood. So that there is a connection here. And then the Sugar and Spice, who many of you have heard and would have been to their dances, were also in the Crescentwood area. The Murphy sisters grew up just down the block from Mr. Neil Young. And so that this was a real hotbed of music for us. And it is great that Duncan is going to be able to have you remembered. I'm going to check where I was because I'm losing my mind here. I find that a lot of times when I get talking about Duncan, that it's kind of sentimental for me. And I just want to say that I know Duncan would be so pleased that all of you people would have come tonight. I know Duncan would be most pleased to have his family here with him. Over the course of the last few months that I was talking to Duncan, I learned just how much and how important his family was to him. And he's so glad to have you here tonight, all of you. I had a chance to talk to Alan Schick, who was in Toronto and wanted very much to be here tonight. But he was unable to be here, but he wanted me to express his words, and I'd like to read them rather than give them by memory. Alan said, Duncan was an all-round musician, the glue that kept us together. But more than that, I really want to say that I love the guy. And I thought to myself, he didn't say, I love the guy. He said, I love the guy. And I thought, he's feeling the same thing that I'm feeling, that although Duncan has left us in body, he hasn't left us in spirit. There isn't a day when I don't think about him. There isn't a day when I don't meet somebody who wants to talk about him, and it's like he's not gone. Duncan left me with very, very fond memories. And he also left me with some advice just before he left us here. And that advice I'd like to share with you. Duncan said to me, always follow your dreams, Embrace the people in and around your life. Don't wait until tomorrow to tell someone how you feel about them, especially your family and friends. Hug your wife, your kids, your pets, and the one that got me. Don't put off reunions, especially with your old bandmates. Music may last forever, but musicians won't. I'd like to thank the Barishes and the Salisbury House for hosting this event tonight. Thomas Wolfe wrote, "You can't go home again," but I think tonight proves that we can. I think Duncan is home. And I hope that this will continue to become a home for Manitoba musicians of all genres. A place where the musicians can come, invite their friends in to play, and a place where the world can come to hear them and hear about them. I know that every time that I walk through that door, look over here at Duncan's guitar and his picture, I'll feel like I'm home. I'll be home with Duncan. Thank you very much.
Listen, we are at that moment that we have been waiting for about a year. So, Amanda, if you would do us the honor of bringing up that prized possession of Duncan's. And Bethany is coming. Is Dan coming up too as well?
Decided that we would like to have something that would recognize the fantastic music scene that we had here in Winnipeg in those years, and we're thrilled. I have to tell you, we're very happy not only with how the rest of the restaurant came out, but we were thrilled to have this section. And when Joey approached us and told us the story and said, would we put Duncan's guitar into this particular group, we said yes right away. We didn't hesitate, because this is what it's all about as far as we're concerned. I think the best part is that not only will you be able to see this, but literally hundreds of people come to this.
Thank you all again. If we missed anybody, we apologize, but Duncan had many family and friends, and we'll leave you with one of the most beautiful songs that Duncan recorded. And I want to thank my wife Judy for spending a lot of time with Duncan in his last days. Duncan Wilson, one more time. Enjoy.